Go ahead and get started. Before I start, I just want to give you an update. Von underwent surgery yesterday. It was exploratory type of surgery, and it turned out that he got a ACL repair in there, so he'll be out for the year. As an update for you guys, very unfortunate situation for Von, obviously, in our team. We care for him, obviously, like we would any player. We know how much this means to him in terms of playing and being with the team. So we look forward to getting him back, obviously off the field for the rest of the season and his leadership, and we're certainly thinking about him as he recovers here. So with that, I'll turn over to you.
What kind of a punch in the gut is that, Sean, when you hear news like that?
Well, listen, you care about every player, right? And it affects you when guys go down. It's the business we're in. It's a physical game, and so and we care for everyone. Certainly, we care for Von in this case, and we'll miss him. But as I said last week when he was out, it's a time and an opportunity for other guys to step up.
Have you talked to Von? Just how's he doing after that was found?
Interacted with him after the surgery yesterday via text. It wasn't in person, on the phone verbally, but talked to him before the surgery verbally, but not since.
Was the exploratory surgery just simply part of just looking at it? Was it scheduled? Or?
Yeah, it was scheduled. I'm not going to go into the details, John, with all due respect, so I'll just leave it like I said it. Thanks.
Was there, I understand what you're saying, Sean, but just one follow-up to that. I assume he had an MRI after the initial injury or whatever. There was some question as to whether it was a meniscus or whatever. Was that the structure of the ACL, was that in question the whole time?
Yeah, again, I'll just keep it pretty general. Again, out of respect for Von and his situation, it's just he went down there to Texas, had an exploratory surgery. We weren't sure where it was going to go, and it went to that he needed his ACL fixed. So.
Had it prepared?
Yes.
Does he need further surgery or that?
Is the ACL the extent of what the damage was discovered? Nothing
Yeah,
else?
I'm not going any further. So.
Sean, I know it's early, but
Yeah.
what is the timetable for when he might come back next year?
Yeah, I'm not going to. So I hope you guys respect where I'm coming from. Let's talk about, the team, the guys moving forward, the Jets. I'll be happy to answer any of those questions.
Can you give us injury updates on the guys that are injured?
Yeah, so who do you have in mind?
Well, Deion, first of all.
Deion, yeah, he'll be out there a little bit today. He'll be limited today. Who else?
Thinking off the top of my head, who else?
Questenberry.
Similar. Yeah, Quez will be out there, limited. I think Reggie will not practice today. I think that's what Jordan Phillips will not practice, and then Milano is day-to-day.
Phillips' shoulders? Is that what-
Shoulder.
And it's not practicing?
Not practice.
Did you say Milano is day-to-day? Coach?
Day-to-day. Yeah.
What does he have?
He's got a leg, knee type deal there. So,
What is the
He's also not practicing.
correct. I'm sorry. Yep.
What did the New England game, the performance of that defensive front, your defensive front, without Vaughn, say to you about, what life is going to be without him and what it can be?
Yeah, I mean, we've got guys that were brought here for a reason, and like I said, I thought they did a good job in the game the other night, the work continues for all of us, and those guys as well. It's a great opportunity for them.
Sean, can you speak to, from an offensive standpoint, going against a defense like the Jets that has such great lockdown corners, can you maybe speak to a little bit about the challenges that brings? Not all teams have two lockdown guys.
The Jets.
Three, if you count the nickel guy.
Yeah, I mean they're a very talented defense. Everything goes through their front. They've got a lot of talented players up front, and they roll them rather quickly with their rotation. And their back seven is you look at their linebackers, they're experienced players, and Mobley does a good job inside in terms of running the defense and the operation. And then the corners are talented. And they've done a good job of building that.
Is it rare to see a guy like Gardner? I know he's not before all the pick, but to see a guy play that well so quickly in the league at that position?
I mean, it's rare when you're a rookie and you play well at any position rather quickly in the league. He's as advertised, right? I mean, he's high pick in the draft a year ago, and he's off to a great start.
Sean, your team ran the table the last 2 seasons after a real tough loss. Do you see the same thing coming together maybe with this team? Now they've won 3 in a row, they could be out. I know it's one game at a time, but
Yeah, one game at a time. Yeah, it's just important that we do that. I mean, that's we got to stay in our process and focus on this game. I mean, this is a team that beat us, and it was pretty convincing in how they beat us. And so it's a division game, and we got to be ready to go.
they have shown an ability to respond to adversity in seasons. This, the Von Miller thing today, they're well equipped to.
Yeah, our guys are resilient. I'll give them that. They've shown that for the better part of this season. We faced adversity, and this is no different, and just a different type of adversity. So, we buckle down. Everyone does their job. Everyone does their 1/11th, and you do it better. And like I said earlier, it's time to step up.
Sean, is there any potential for Milano to miss the game this week?
We're just taking it one day at a time. So we'll see.
Sean, what did you learn or appreciate about the Jets and coaching against them once you're ready this season?
Well, a little bit of what I said. I mean, they play hard. I think Coach Seiler's done a really good job. Coach LaFleur as well. They're well coached on special teams. I just think across the board they're well coached. They've got a talented football team. They play hard. I think all those things really stand out when you watch the film.
Sean, when with Mike White in there, it seems like the ball's coming out quicker or whatever. Are they tougher to defend with him in? What's the difference you see?
Excuse me. Well, I think he's a good player. He can make throws. He's had success in this league in the small amount of starts that he's had. I think in the last 2 games they're close to or exceeding 900 yards of offense. I mean, that's impressive in and of itself. They got a lot of weapons on the offense. They're deep in the wide receiving group, and they just roll them all. I mean, they roll them. So their tight ends are active in the run and pass game, and so are their backs. So they've got a very good screen game. So they're rolling on offense as well.
Sean, you remember last week, obviously, kind of split the reps with Devin for the first time. How did that happen? How did he warrant that type of playing time?
I just think it was a good role by in terms of the substitution pattern by Coach Skipper and Coach Dorsey, and just kind of feeling the game there more than anything. And it's not any less confidence in motor, but just putting good football players on the field.
That was obviously a step forward for him. It looks like he's starting to become more decisive, a little more confident in what he's doing. Are you seeing that even in practice? Kind of give me an update on James Cook, I guess.
Yeah, I think he's again, he continues to grow. He continues to improve every week via his practice and then in the game as well. And sometimes it's just opportunities, and sometimes you get more, and sometimes you don't get quite as many. And then when you're feeling, that when you're in the flow, especially as a running back in this case, sometimes that happens where you get going and you get more touches.
Sean, on Monday, Ken Dorsey was asked about Nyheim Hines and the challenge of getting up to speed quickly after coming to a new team via trade. You've had to incorporate new pieces into the lineup rather quickly this season. A.J. Klein, John Brown among them. And obviously, those guys have some familiarity based on their time here, but what is the challenge when you have to so quickly get guys ready to step in and play meaningful snaps?
It's a balance. I mean, you want to get them up to speed. Guys that have been here or haven't been here, you want to get them up to speed as quickly as possible, but you also have to safeguard against a little bit of, hey, they look good, but maybe they're not totally in physical shape yet. That's one piece for guys that haven't been playing maybe, and then the other piece is the mental piece of can they execute the defense or the offense in this case or special teams. Because things come up on the field, kind of rules of engagement that if they haven't been in the system for enough time, they hesitate, and when you hesitate, it's not a good thing.
And then in regards to Nyheim, I guess in specific, now that he's been here a month and has finally gotten some time to practice, how far along is he in that process?
I feel like he's in a pretty good spot. I really do. The coaches have done a good job along with Nyheim of working at it and getting himself going, and I feel like he's in a pretty good spot, and we'll see where it goes moving forward.
Sean, where are things right now from your perspective with the second cornerbacks now with Xavier, Dane, and Kaiir?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at all those guys, and I think all three of those guys bring value to our team. And we'll just see how it goes this week.
You've had a number of years now, like the first round picks, different levels of like starting, like Josh obviously started all of his games, Jermaine, and then Ed had that kind of segment where he was kind of developing. What's your message to Kyer during this as he kind of battles for, game day reps?
Yeah, control what you can control, and when you're given an opportunity, you make the most of it. You execute the way you're supposed to execute with proper technique and physicality, and just like anybody else, it's do your job, and when your number's called, be ready to perform.
Sean, is it tough to keep a guy like that mentally strong? He doesn't have a past resume of success to draw upon, or a comfort in the league, being a guy who's just in the first year of his career?
I mean, there's always a mental component to everything for every player we have. But there's also, in particular, when they're young, when they're rookies, and they're not used to this. Maybe to your question, but they can look around our team and really around the NFL and see that this is, things like that aren't unique, and so there's going to be ups and downs, and you're going to have to wait sometimes, but you got to work while you wait, and I think Kyer's done that, and so just it's all about improving each and every day, never too high, never too low. Stick to your process, and if you need to find ways to improve your process, improve it. And then technique-wise is making sure you're working on the areas you need to work on.
Sean, are you guys hopeful for Christian Benford to return this season?
Yeah, we'll see.
Sean, you guys have started 11 unique starting lineups on the defensive side of the ball. That's near the top of the league, still 9-3 though. What's that say about the development that you guys continue to do with the backups throughout the season?
Yeah, I think the defense led by Leslie and the staff have done a great job. Like I said the other day, they haven't blinked when there's been the rolling of the lineup since really, I think, after game one for the most part. And the players haven't either, to their credit. And so it's always next man up mentality, and you go in there and they've done a really good job to this point. And so now it's about, getting into a good flow here as we go.
Sean, what went into letting Mark Wesley
Just roster at this point, so. All right, thanks, guys.